The Nintendo Switch 2 is finally here! But now that I have this brand new console, there's a couple experiments I want to try. First off, what happens if you put a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge inside of an original Switch? Well, we're gonna try this with Mario Kart World, and we're gonna put it in my OG Switch. Alright, let's grab the cartridge and put it inside of the OG Switch. What will happen? And we got an error message. Nintendo Switch 2 software cannot be played on this system. So okay Nintendo, you planned ahead and inserted your beautiful little error message. But I will try to outsmart you because I kept the Switch without an update, and I will see what happens if you put it on that old console. So I have my Switch Lite here, which is on an old firmware, as you can see, because it doesn't have like the virtual card and all those other fun icons. What happens in this one if we put Mario Kart World, eh? Well, nothing. Nothing happens. There's no error message. There's just nothing happening. It's not detecting it at all. So, yeah, well, there's no error message, but there's no error either. Oh, wait a minute, we got something. The game card could not be read. Please remove and reinsert it. Okay, so we get a different error message on the old Switch, on the old firmware. So yeah, that's what happens. What happens if you put a Nintendo Switch 1 cartridge inside of a Switch 2? Switch 2 is supposed to be compatible with pretty much every single Switch 1 game. So I guess let's grab Echoes of Wisdom and let's put it in. So yeah, there we go. It's right there, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So yeah, it's all there. Let's just try playing it. Oh, obviously we need to download an update. Classic gaming in 2025, am I right? And while we're waiting for this update to complete, well, did you know that a bunch of Switch 1 game will receive free updates to work on the Nintendo Switch 2, but like at a better resolution, at a better frame rate and everything? If you're interested in knowing what changed, well, make sure to subscribe because I'm gonna be doing a video real short showcasing all of the differences between those games running on Switch 1 and those games running on Switch 2. Alright, well, wow, look at that gorgeous game, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and this is running on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, it works. Obviously, it is compatible, which is actually pretty cool. What is inside of a game key card case? So game key cards have been really controversial, but I still got one. I got Bravely Default, and it is, as you can see, a game key card. What is inside? Is it gonna be a key? Is it gonna be a card? Is it gonna be... It's a pretty much, it's a cartridge. It's a traditional cartridge, and yeah, it looks like pretty much every other cartridges, except there is a little key, because this is a key card. Got it? What happens if you put a game key card inside the original Switch? So I've got a feeling this is pretty much gonna be the same thing, but you know, let's try it anyways. This game card could not be read, please remove and reinsert it. Okay, so that's the error message we got on the Switch Lite earlier. As for the Switch Lite, well, same thing. It kinda waits, kinda takes some time, and bada bing bada boom, it's the classic error message. That's what happens. What is inside of a Nintendo Switch 2 Edition game case? I got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, and voila! It's a cartridge, and it's the same art from the original Switch 1 version. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but this one's red. That's what's inside. What happens if you put a Nintendo Switch 2 Edition cartridge inside an original Nintendo Switch? For this one, we're going to be using The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, and we're going to put it in the OG Switch. Alright, so I'm putting it in right now, and... ooh, it's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But as you can see, it's not the Switch 2 Edition, it's pretty much just Breath of the Wild. So let's boot it, I guess. Okay, so from what I see, it's basically The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's exactly the same game I have on my Switch 1. So yeah, it's working, it's loading, everything works, I can move, I can do anything. It's as if I was using the original Breath of the Wild cartridge, except I'm using the red one. But yeah, it's compatible and it works great. What happens if you put the Nintendo Switch 2 on a dock for the Nintendo Switch 1? Obviously, the Switch 2 has its own dock. But what if we decide to not use this one? What happens if we put the Switch 2 on the Switch 1 dock? So hopefully this won't break anything, but let's try to insert it. And it doesn't fit in. The USB thing just doesn't fit inside. What about the top? What about the top USB port? Will it work? No, there's no use. It's just those two things, they're not compatible. What happens if you put an original Nintendo Switch on a Nintendo Switch 2 dock? Not gonna lie, considering the size difference between those two consoles, I don't think the Switch 1 will fit inside of the Switch 2 dock, but we never know, so let's give it a try. Okay, so let's put it in and try to fit it inside of the wait, maybe this way, maybe yeah, it's not fitting. For some reason it doesn't fit in. What happens if you try to dock the Switch 2 using the top USB-C port? I'm gonna be honest, I don't have high hopes for this experiment, but let's give it a try. Alright, so right now it is docked, it is not docked. Let's flip it, and there is a USB here, and let's try to fit it. Yeah, obviously it's not made for that way, so it's not docking. It just looks kind of dumb. Can you use a Pro Controller 2 with the original Nintendo Switch? This is a Switch 1 Pro Controller, this is a Switch 2 Pro Controller, and I'm wondering, can we find a way to make this one work on the Switch 1? So let's start by going into controllers and change grip order. And technically, if we push this button on top here, the console will try to sync. And Switch 1, are you receiving anything? Hello? Switch 1? Woohoo! Okay, it doesn't seem to work. Let's try with the Switch 1 controller to see if it just maybe was a glitch or something. No, the Switch 1 controller paired just fine. But I'm not gonna give up that easily. Let's plug this via USB. So I'm plugging it in as we speak, and well, I guess there's this little orange light, which means it is charging. But yeah, it won't sync, it won't work, it's not made for the Switch 1. Can you use the Joy-Con 2 on the original Nintendo Switch? So obviously, I don't think it's gonna work, but I mean, let's grab that classic Joy-Con and let's press the sync button and see what happens. Well, as you can pretty much expect, it's just like the Pro Controller. Nothing happens and it's not getting recognized at all. And as the Nintendo Switch 2 uses magnets, well, we cannot just plug it in the original Switch. So yeah, those two things, not compatible at all. Does the Nintendo Switch 2 feature themes? So the OG Nintendo Switch has two themes, Basic White and Basic Black. And well, they look good, but they're nothing special. But what about Nintendo Switch 2? Alright, well, let's check it out. Let's go to System Settings, and there's probably a theme menu somewhere. There you go, Themes. And we got Basic Light and Basic Dark. Yep, we are still stuck with those two basic themes. Hey, maybe we'll get new ones down the line, who knows, but yeah, for now, you'll just have to settle for these two yet again. Is there a speaker inside of the Joy-Con 2? The Nintendo Switch OG has an option to find a lost Joy-Con. Basically, if you go into that menu, well, it will start vibrating the Joy-Con. Is it still there on Switch 2? And is it better? Well, I got some great news for you, gamers, because if you go to Controller, there is still a search for controller option. I detached the Joy-Con and I'm gonna try to find it using the option. Ooh! It still vibrates for a bit, but then it beeps. Is that a speaker or is that the magic of HD Rumble 2? It's hard for me to say. You'd have to deassemble the entire thing, but what I know for sure is that it beeps. Will the Joy-Con 2 stick to my fridge? This is kind of a dumb question, but the Joy-Con and the Switch, they stick using magnets. So, can I put this on a fridge? Alright, let's see. No, it's not sticking to the fridge. What about the console though? No, it isn't working either. Well, now you know. Do Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges taste worse than original Nintendo Switch cartridges? Man, why do I have to do this again? Okay, so the cartridges for Nintendo Switch, if you put them in your mouth, they have like a coating on it and it tastes horrible. So let's take Breath of the Wild and it's not good. It's not good. I don't like it. Ah, it's bitter, dude. Ah, it's really not good. Ah, the aftertaste. I forgot that. But you know what? If we want to have a good test for this one, we also have to eat Breath of the Wild for Nintendo Switch 2. Alright, here goes nothing. Hey? 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 Oh, no, there it is. Okay, at first I think it wasn't there. Okay, it come. Ugh. Oh, no. It's definitely. Ah! I'm getting poison for you guys. I'm eating poison. Alright. Yeah, they still taste the same. They both taste horrible. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I'll be right back. So I think this answers the basic questions. But do you have more? Let me know in the comment section down below and I'll make a part 2 featuring all of your questions. In the meantime, well, check out this video here. It's really cool, I promise. And as for me, well, I'll go play the Switch too, because all I've been doing today is making those experiments. I still haven't played Mario Kart World. What am I waiting for?